Graphic Online, Health Minister launches 24-hour call center for patient complaints, directs hospitals to display numbers. We'll move away from that, and preparations for the Akwatia by-elections have been triggered. Let's look at some of the preparations, security, EC, among others. We'll start with the Daily Guide. They say, we have the men to safeguard Akwatia by-elections. That's the IGP speaking. Daily Graphic, Police GJA partner for journalist safety. My Joy Online, our eyes are red for Akwatia. IGP warns troublemakers ahead of by-election. We'll still stay with elections, and that to do with Ablekuma North, because the police has announced that it has arrested some 8 persons over some of the violence we saw over there. Let's see the details of that story with some of the media outlets. Daily Guide says Ablekuma North rerun, 8 arrested over violence. NPP demands action. 3news.com deal with perpetrators of Ablekuma North rerun violence before Akwatia by-elections. NPP to police. Channel 1 News arrests Ablekuma North thugs before Akwatia polls. NPP to the police. We'll move away from that. We'll look at some issues that have arisen from to buy or not to buy a presidential jet. So let's see what the issue is about. Let me take you to Daily Graphic. They say President Mahama on official visit to Japan, Singapore. The Chronicle says storm over Mahama's trip to Japan. And then citynewsroom.com revealed Mahama traveled to Japan on commercial flight, not private jet. And the issue of the suspended CJ every now and then pops in the news cycle. What has been reported this week on her suspension? Let me take you to the Herald. They say Attorney General Apak Kweku Azar rebuked colonialist insult from UK lawyers. Daily Guide says Commonwealth lawyers AG clash over Tokono. And citynewsroom.com says we are not a British colony. MP slams Commonwealth lawyers over call to reinstate the Chief Justice. And finally, one of the big news for this week has been developing for some time back, but reignited some 2 days ago, having to do with the detention of Shatta Wale by Yoko. The latest to it is he has been released, but let's see how that story was captured. 3news.com 48-hour rule may not apply to Shatta Wale's Yoko case, security and fraud consultant explains. My Joy Online, Shatta Wale claims he bought Lamborghini from the street as Yoko probe deepens. And then finally on Channel 1 News, Shatta Wale released after meeting revised bill conditions. So those are some of the big stories for the week. When I come back, I'll introduce my guest and then we'll delve into the stories. Stay with us.
DSTV means choosing.
Amazing acting.
Face branding while streaming.
Front row at the gaming and super fanning while on the going. Winning! Binging and blockbustering. While others are white ricing, you're jolloffing.
This looks so good.
With something for everyone. Anything is possible when you're DSTVing. Start today with all sorts of packages to match your...
In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Another day. It's always smiles knowing we are together.
Ooh, what a feeling. We not go, you there for family. If you not be you, then who go there? Let's go.
Work is always effective with Nasco Home Appliances. No wahala if the sun is up. We there for your appetite. Never a dull moment to go for something chilled. classic home appliance for the fisher folks.
Everywhere you dare, let's go.
Good vibes only while you wait. The feeling hits very deep.
Feeling the vibe. Come on, shake your body.
And Nijepa, Ewa Nasco Fie. Nasco, bring home happiness.
Me pay so dear me jam sister me dad dear me chibia na me am shishimi akuna ida me many te o sabe de me saka me se me ida so te sika se dia so demo hwe juju so wo mo bag de ho dia me ba bi free so one hwe bag na ma wo na me hwe wow se me nya kwamfo bi na na mo sole o
In a world filled with challenges, we all need guidance, hope, and a lifeline to anchor us.
This is Lifeline, and I'm your host, Fred Crunchy Mensa.
From social issues, relationship challenges, and family matters, Lifeline is here to inspire, uplift, and guide you on your journey.
Where we give you support, where we hold your hand through the valley and through the thick and thins of life.
Join Bishop Fred Crunchy Mensa
I welcome you especially to Lifeline
every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 p.m. right here on Channel 1 TV. Let's walk this path together, strengthen our faith, our families, and our lives. Lifeline, because every soul deserves a guiding light. Tune in to Lifeline on Channel 1 TV and let's grow together.
So you're welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. Let me introduce my guest for today. Selim Adano is here with us at Channel 1 TV as well as City 97.3 FM. Selim, welcome.
Thank you, Vivian.
Then we also have Sammy Riafi also here with us at Channel 1 TV as well as City 97.3 FM. Samuel.
Hi, Vivian.
Riafi, welcome.
Vivian,
Stop you to be using Samuel Riafi. You've shortened it to Sammy. Is that what is on your birth certificate? So, gentlemen, some interesting developments this week having to do with the detention of Shatta Wale by Yoko. He was released on Thursday night. Let's listen to what he said following his release.
Safe, and I'm home now, and I just want to say a big thank you for supporting, you know, and for being around me in times like this, because I needed you guys, you know, the most, because you guys are the ones that hold me down. Once again, I want to say, you know, a big thank you to everybody that has been in support of this, you know. Shouts to Neo Original One Don, you know, who has been a father to me too, and he's been very supportive too as well. You know. To all the staff of Yoko, you guys have been wonderful. At least I came there, you guys really took me through that rightful processes that, you know, was needed. And I just want to say God bless you, and, you know, to Mr. Ramonacha, I just want to tell you, you know, I thank you so much for your understanding.
So that's Shatta Wale saying thank you to all those who stood by him during this challenging time for him. I'll start with our lawyer, Salom. On your thoughts on this development from the car incident some months back, and then his detention subsequently, and then his release today following a reduction in the bail term.
Well, I mean, it's interesting and it's unfortunate, the turn of events. Shatta Wale undoubtedly is one of our biggest exports, if not the biggest export. And he has done well over the period from the 2000s, bandana, metamorphosing into the dancehall, Shatta Wale, influencing a lot of his followers, the Shatta movement and all of that. So undoubtedly, he's a leader who has tried to influence his people in various ways. You may debate about how he does it, but his influence you cannot discount. So I think this incident is it's a big deal, really. It's a big deal. If it's not handled well, it may collapse him, because this is a superstar by all standards, being embroiled in an international fraudulent scheme, you know, and he has to be careful, and I hope that he's able to go through this well. Already, international media, etc., are reporting this, and it doesn't look good. I mean, the gentleman who was arrested and jailed in the U.S. In the $4 million romance scandal and all of that, you know, the car in question, we understand the U.S. authorities traced that car to Ghana. I mean, that car being one bought from proceeds of fraud, tracing it to him. And I think Shatta Wale also didn't help himself with the comments he made initially, etc., that he bought the car. I think initially he said the car was for somebody he was using to brand himself, etc. And all of a sudden he said he bought the car, $150,000 or so, and all of that, and he bought it on the street. And he said he bought it from a WhatsApp contact by name Zach. He cannot verify or confirm his identity. You know, and these are inconsistencies in the story. So when you talk like that, then it's you give yourself away. At first you said it's not yours, and I understand the car documents don't even have his name. The documents, I understand, bear the gentleman who is in jail's name. So simple. Say it's not yours. You took it from the guy, and you had no idea the guy, you know, was involved in this. So take the car. And then go away, like the way it was handled the first time. And understand, even when the car was taken in May, nobody even knew. Everybody was quiet until he came in August or late July to do a TikTok video calling Raymond Acha and all of this.
Must have triggered that.
You know, and then now we all know that the so-called Lamborghini, which has been spoken about many times by many people, etc., was not yours after all. You know, and now all of a sudden you bought it $150,000. I think he has to be careful. His lawyers must advise him on what to say. The video we just saw about his post-detention, I mean, vote of thanks or statement, I think that is more responsible. That is more mature, and that is how he should proceed. At this time, you don't anger people because because you are not in a good place. And only God knows what else will happen. I pray they don't extradite him to the U.S. to stand trial. I don't know the extent of the fraud. I don't know how the extent of his involvement. But I know this whole thing about celebrity culture, luxury consumption, etc. I mean, that is where it is. And a lot of the younger people don't read in between the lines. And they watch these celebrities and they think everything they put out there is gospel. And they have to go for it at all cost. It doesn't make sense. And we've seen this, in recent times in many forms. We saw the Haja for Real girl, who said you could start a business with some small money and all of that. She said she sings, that's where she made the money. Only to realize that she was engaged in romance scam, But that did not send enough signal to our young ladies and our young men. They still think that what they see on the screens and how they see their celebrities behave is real. I wish Shatta very well. I hope that he's able to scale this. Of course, his life has been one of controversies, and one after the other, he's been able to scale them, increasing his following, etc. I really hope he will be able to scale this one too, and come out unscathed. But from how things look, I don't think it looks good, and I hope that he is not a candidate for extradition. That will not be good for him, and that will even be embarrassing for the Ghanaian, entertainment industry. Economy. And it's not a good thing. I hope that his is not very deep, and take the Lamborghini, deal with it, and let's go. But
he's gotten a new one.
Well, we don't even know where that one came from. That's the problem. So you see, they are not learning. I don't. What is it about Lamborghini? What is it about Lamborghini on Ghana roads? What's the point? I mean, what's the point?
You guess 1 kilometer.
When they see their colleagues in the US and other places, hip hop stars and co, doing those things, then they also want to replicate the same thing here. They replicate the thing without context. The American context is very different, and it's very different. You don't import things just that way and bring it here. Now here you are in trouble. And after a while, if this goes on for a while, people like Beyonce and all these big people he's had some associations with will begin to disown him. They'll begin to issue statements denouncing what he said, etc. And you don't need that. And it's taking a whole time. I mean, it's a lifelong thing. He's tried his best, built a certain following and reputation over the period. You don't get engaged in this. And this is at the height of it. It's unfortunate. I only hope that it's not as deep as we hear or as we think, so that he's able to find his way around it.
Okay. It's just bail. And as Shalom said, the matter is not over yet. It will still come up as and when, he's needed. And the FBI is involved in all this. Shatta is one person who travels to the US more often. And if the FBI is involved and the FBI feels that maybe our local authorities here are not handling the matter well, they may want to take it up. And if the FBI is involved in all this, it puts a dent on his brand. And I know he's a brand ambassador to a number of organizations. When these issues come up, you begin to hear them withdrawing their roles or ambassadorial roles that they assign to you. And so for him as a brand and the Shatta movement, that is not good. It is not good. And the desire to always look rich on social media, the desire to, recently he acquired a Rolls Royce and it was all over the place. Just some few weeks later, we see him showcasing the Lambo. And just some days, we've seen another pink one. It gives some kind of perception. Move. Okay, thank you. It gives a kind of perception about, why these people always want to show worth. Is it that apart from the music, there are other sources of income that they do that brings them the extra money or what? So I feel the musicians in Ghana in general should tone down a bit. There are people who have more money than you do. But
the industry has showbiz. It's part of the industry.
Yes,
but
I
believe what they should be looking is how to do it legally or
because
properly.
We are copying wrongly, as Salon said, from the West. We see the Jay-Z's, the Rick Ross, the Beyonce thems flaunting these kind of cars, so we think we can import the same thing here. But they have a different system, a well-structured system that checks their income, their taxes and those things. But here we do not do those things. Even if we do, it's limited. And so you can't import those foreign things down here. You always get people, coming after you when they see these things. People may ask, hey, and when these things begin to come up, you get people digging deeper.
But isn't that what we are saying? We had Bullet or so saying that because Shatta Wale has changed the industry, was one of the first who started charging $100,000 for a concert and all that. People are envious and all that, but they should rather embrace how he's stepping up the game and instead of, witch hunting.
He made those comments because he's an associate of his. And so obviously he will come and make those comments. But then when you charge those amounts, how many Ghanaians now, these Ghanaian musicians, play shows in Ghana now? People don't invite them to their show. They rather do their own shows. So the rapaholic shows and the artists themselves decide to perform their own shows now. And rather the only avenue for them is to travel and do a road tour in Europe and then the Americans. That's what they think will get them money. Because locally, which company or organization will pay you $100,000 just to come and perform, just do some mimic on a song and pay you that amount of money? No, nobody will. So you prefer to go to Europe or the US to go and do that one. They have money there, so they'll pay. As low as $20, $50, people will still come out and come and watch you perform. But locally, no one will pay you that amount of money to come and perform. Nobody will. That's why their act locally is dying. And so they want to export it and get the Europe and the Americans to rather hold them up. Look at all the artists we have in Ghana. Shatta Wale, Black Sherif, Stonebwoy. They always get it big when they move outside. But locally, they don't. Even when they organize shows, how many people show up? Because the gate fee and the rest, people are unable to pay. And so the best option for them is to move out. And Shatta is a big act. He's an ambassador for this country. There are people in Nigeria, where people are mentioning his name. In South Africa, almost everywhere. He's a big brand. And I believe his manager, Sammy Flex and the rest, should manage this thing well. Already, he doesn't have a good brand because of numerous things that he's done. And he's trying to change that brand. That's why he brought up some new management recently. If Sammy Flex and the rest are cool heads, they should try and manage this thing well before he affects his brand internationally. Internationally.
All right. Okay.
I mean, let me address the issue about fans. Fans are fans. Some very fanatical sometimes. But, you know, let's allow the law to work. I mean, we don't need to get to a place where, I'm not saying Shatta is a criminal, but when criminals or suspected criminals are arrested and being taken through the process, go and mass up at the place, screaming, etc., that undermines the rule of law. That is not appropriate. He himself has come out and he's thanking the officers of Yoko for doing a good job on him, and thanking the Yoko boss, Raymond Archer, for everything. So you were outside there insulting, screaming at the people, etc. It doesn't make sense to me.
If you're a lawyer, what happens at the Yoko place that by the time people come out, the attitude they enter, they come out differently? I'm sure you'll be spill the beans.
Nothing happens really. They just ask you questions. But you know, these law enforcement or these investigative bodies, what we must know is that before they call you, they have a dossier on you. They don't just call you because they've just heard something. They would have done their work. And, you know, if Ghanaian investigators want to work, they work.
Yeah.
So if they want to build a dossier or a docket on you, they will do that. Yeah. So when you get there, maybe you have a story you want to tell, okay? And they show you one or two things. They show, okay, this one, how come this one to this one? When you come out, you see that, no, you are naked. So you better behave. A lot of the times, that is how it is. So you can say all the things you say outside, but when you go in there and they show you a few things and you come out, you will know that, no, it's better to remain calm and pray and be hopeful than be screaming all over the place. Unless, of course, you really think there's nothing, you know, there's nothing for you to answer. That is it. Of course, there are times they use, you know, dark tactics to do things to you, but that is wrong. They use dark tactics to make sure or to get things from you. That is wrong. But if they are doing it normally and legally, they show you things. You said this here, you wrote this. This is the document. You went here. Is that not your signature? Is that not you there talking? Was that not you? But you said here that it's not you. Have never done it. But is that not you saying it? You know, they show you a lot of things. And by the time you are circled, and you realize that, no, you just have to behave well, else you're
expressing concerns about the funds. We see the politicians doing
that's what I'm saying. So it is wrong. They are learning from the politicians. But if you are saying we are building a democracy, yes, you can go there. But don't be shouting and screaming. The guys are also doing their job. Go and solidarize. Solidarizing doesn't mean going to shout, going to insult people, going to call people's names. No. Go stand there, I mean, wish him well, let him come out, you hug him, do all of that. But don't go and be insulting people. Don't go and be forcing people to release him when the guys are also doing their work. Okay. And we are not also saying that the authorities or the investigative authorities should unduly hold people. And now this issue about bail conditions being such huge, you know, labels or sums of money, I don't know how. I mean, what happened to self-recognizance bill? I know OSP, for example, says he doesn't give self-recognizance bill. But Shatta Wale, where is he running to? This is a guy who can't even walk on the street. No. Because when he walks on the street, he'll be mobbed. People will come around him. So why do you place such huge conditions on him? And he's unable to meet it, and so he's detained. Bail conditions or bail itself should not be used as punishment. That is wrong. We just want to ensure that when you release the guy, he will come back and stand trial. And there are many ways of ensuring that, you know. So I don't know. I think we can relook at this. Else, if we don't take care tomorrow, or even as it's happening, to become a tool for people to use to detain people. So you've been granted bail on paper, but you've been unable to meet your bail conditions, so you are still under detention or in detention. I think we need to find a way around that. It's not the best.
Okay. We'll move to the Minister of Health. He's been in the news for some time now over an incident at the Rich Hospital where a gentleman is alleged to have attacked the nurse because he felt that they were not given health care to his relatives. So we'll quickly listen to the latest to it, where the health minister has been explaining why he was in a very friendly position with the guy who is alleged to have attacked the nurse.
The medical director was with me. The deputy director general was also with me. Then I asked, why did you do this, gentlemen? When I asked, most of you were there. I mean, the press, you were there. So you can attest to what I'm saying. You were there with me. When I asked him, the gentleman then stretched his hand, shaking me, and trying to whisper something into my ears. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, should I push the guy that don't whisper anything into my ears? Should I snub him? Should I shout at him? Even if that guy has been prosecuted and sentenced to life imprisonment, and he stretches his hand to shake me, as a minister, as a public officer, I have the duty to stretch and greet him. So let us not reduce the fact that I shook hands with him does not mean that I should stop any measure or any steps that the ministry or government will take to unravel the situation.
So that's Health Minister Akanda over there. Sami, you don't look happy with his explanation.
I disagree with the explanation he gave. We've seen the video. I'm not sure I'm the only one who's seen it. Quite a number of people have seen the video of the handshake. It was a friendly handshake. They were both smiling. The explanation he's giving is for
so
me.
So he has to frown?
No, not really. Because, Vivian, a gentleman attacks a facility under your ministry, attacks health workers or workers under your ministry. You visit the place. You saw the condition of the assaulted nurse. You engage her. You are out of the hospital and you meet the prime suspect. And he stretches an arm and you stretch him and then give him a bosa, like the way the guys hug. In which settings, even if it wasn't a friendly one, the optics were bad. Extremely bad. That a health minister, a key suspect, assault somebody under your facility, a facility that you supervise, and you meet the key suspect and you start to stretch your arms, a friendly conversation. No, it's unacceptable anywhere. The more reason why the midwives and nurses, registered nurses, are angry that the gentleman in question should be arrested immediately for assault. And the more reason why the General Secretary is unhappy with the Health Minister calling him a farmer, because they believe that he doesn't know his job. It's abnormal. Then why did you go there in the first place? You should have started in your office and send somebody else to go. Why did you go there? To go and have first-hand information. You've been told the story. And the person who is suspected to have engaged in all this meets you outside. And you engage in a friendly conversation, shake him, and then you give yourself bows, huh? Oh no, it's unacceptable.
Right.
It's unacceptable.
We'll come to the incident proper, but let me pick Salam's thoughts as well on this particular incident about the shaking and the backlash the minister has received over that.
Well, I think it could have been better. It could have been better, but again, I think the attacks are quite inordinate. I would have done it differently, you know. I would have done it differently. And again, it depends on the kind of conversation the minister went in there to have with the people and what he saw. If what he saw was, as we've heard it, bad, then I don't really expect him to be calm as he was. I thought if it's as bad as we have seen it, or it's as bad as we've been made to believe, I thought he should have been a bit more stern in dealing with the gentleman. When I heard his press statement, he said a guy came, stretched his hand to talk to him, shake him, and whispered something in his ears that he will come to the office and tell him his side of the story. I thought that was unnecessary, and where were the police in the first place? Were the police not at Ridge Hospital? There's a police post by the Ridge Hospital. So where were the police? And did they know that was the guy? If they knew that was the guy, I think he should have been arrested. He should have been arrested there and then. And I hear they are looking for him, they can't find him, but he's granting interviews all over the place.
Can you imagine?
They must look for him and arrest him. I don't think it's the best of things we want to encourage. However, I also think that the health minister deserves some bit of credit. When the incident happened, I don't know how serious it was, but we've been made to believe it's been serious by social media commentary and by others commenting on the matter.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen a video of the guy assaulting the lady.
Same here.
What I saw is just a CCTV footage of the guy in there trying to share body or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the two
so that's
persons...
the footage is
Yes.
currently rolling on the
Yes,
screen.
I don't know if the two persons are the same, one beaten or assaulted to the extent that it has a dislocated, she's had a dislocated arm, etc. That sounds very extreme to me. And when the minister was asked at a press conference, this is what we saw, and we don't see any battery there. We don't see anybody beating anybody there. You know, so if that is what it is, and the lady is the one who is hurt, who may be wrong, then I think it's an exaggeration. If this is all it is, then I think it's certainly an exaggeration. It's interesting that so far I've not seen any video, because we've seen people, I mean, all these videos showing. How come the particular case of the so-called assault, where somebody is being brutally beaten and arm dislocated, etc., we've not seen that. And we have to be a bit careful. You know, so when the minister was asked, he said it is part of the investigation. The investigation indeed will reveal whether the person was beaten or not. And I'm sure the medical people will also show whether indeed what the lady is claiming is true or not. And when the guy was supposedly beating or assaulting or battering her, I'm sure there were people there. You know, what are the people saying?
Eyewitnesses.
And all of that. We need the full complement of that, because so far, I haven't seen the video. If it exists, I'll be happy to see it. All I've seen is the CCTV footage, which we are showing on the screen. So I think we need to be careful in crucifying a minister who has been a bit hands-on that we've seen in the past. A thing happens, quickly the minister himself gets to the scene. We've not seen that in a long time. He quickly gets to the scene, quickly convenes a meeting with the people, immediately sets up a committee, giving the committee, is it less than a week to report to him. What else should he do? You know? So I think we have to be careful. I think there is a certain appetite for scandal, you know, and yes, you know, scandals are sensational, etc. We have to proceed cautiously, so we do not encourage the wrong things. By all means, we condemn the guy's action in the hospital. It is wrong. You don't go to hospital screaming and all of that. You think your situation is critical. Others have more critical situations the health professionals have been trained to deal with. So when you go there, you sit and wait for your turn. Indeed, you sit and then wait for it, and you don't go there with social media, live streaming, etc., because you think you are an activist or you are whoever. It is wrong. And for that alone, the guy must be condemned. It is wrong. We don't have to encourage that. Health professionals are priceless. They are important to us. We love our nurses. We love our doctors. They go through a lot already. Their conditions of service remuneration, they complain, not so good. And I'm sure the system is trying, or has been trying in the past to better it for them so they don't get enticed and go away. They can't add insecurity at facilities and having to go through these things to their headache. So I think the state has a duty to protect them. And I'm so disappointed that there's a police post at the Ridge Hospital and all these things happen.
So some
and we've not
say
seen
that the committee thing is a waste of time. They should let the police take up the issue.
No, but nobody has stopped. The committee, the
on.
committee work is critical. The committee work doesn't stop the police. These are two different things. The police will come in for criminal behavior. The committee is not investigating criminal behavior. What the committee is doing is civil. What the committee is doing is trying to find out what happened or why it happened. Was the lady indeed assaulted? Why so? Did the guy come to the hospital where other people there who were lying there as they claimed were not being seen while nurses were walking leisurely about? These are critical things we need to get to. When we get answers from the committee makes recommendations, then we implement the recommendations to improve our system. You know, so in condemning the guy and all of that, they say, Utu Jamuafu and now Utu Omonifo. Yeah. So you know, so we condemn the guy. No, so we condemn the guy. But it is also important to point out the fact that sometimes the attitude in our hospitals are poor. the attitude in our hospitals are poor. Yes, we know they are under pressure. We know all of that. We know they've seen worse situations. But somebody comes with a situation, and people don't just
the
care.
Attitude is just. I have had a terrible experience with rape before.
It's bad. Actually, they don't care. They don't even tell you anything. Sometimes all they have to do is to assure you, how are you? What's happening? Don't worry. Sit down. We will attend to you soon. That alone, distresses you, gives you some comfort, assures you. But what do we see? Just walking, if you call them, sometimes they will throw their hands at you, they snub you, do this, and by the time you see, they are on their phones whilst people are seated. So if you bring your relative, that's all you have, sick in an emergency, and the people are not minding you, walking about leisurely doing what they want, you will react. No matter how bad the reaction is, you will react. So in condemning the guy and doing all of that, we must also seek to address the problem. Why do they behave like that? Is it about time the health system took customer service seriously? We have to think about that. Is it about time the nurses and all of those people who design their curriculum put into the curriculum customer service, customer service training? I guess those things are in there already. You see them on phones, WhatsApp, TikTok, doing all of those things. When patients are lying there, it is wrong. We must also seek to deal with, so the issue about long waiting time. You go to hospital in the morning.
You leave at night.
You sit there the whole day. And your whole day is sport. So maybe we need more health professionals. Maybe we need more facilities. We need more equipment. We have to look into all of these. So yes, the committee's work is critical. And I hope they do a good job and come up with some solid recommendations that will help us. But that doesn't stop the police from doing their work. The gentleman is around granting interviews. What is stopping the police from going to look for him?
Maybe so they are waiting for the committee's report before they act.
They cannot.
The recommendation of the committee.
Based on which they will act.
The committee should say that they should arrest the guy.
Perhaps.
Then the police doesn't know its work.
Perhaps.
The committee doesn't have to. So if it takes the committee forever to do its work, then the police work is very different from the committee's work. Very, very different. So the police should get into action or get to work, look for the guy, arrest him.
But the hospital should have lodged a complaint by now.
I'm sure they've done that. But even if you've not done that, and you police, you've seen it. I mean, your job, amongst other things, is to prevent crime. So if you've seen it, you have to act. You don't have to wait to say that somebody must come and complain to you. Then what's the point? I'm disappointed the police having arrested the main guy. They said they've arrested some other person. They should look for the main guy, granting interviews here and there, and let him, face the music. I'm not saying he's guilty.
He said he didn't touch the lady in question. He did a video, I think 2 days ago.
Yes, but it does appear.
Everything.
It does
appear. So
wait. I'm saying that it does appear that is becoming the thing, because we've not seen anything to the contrary. Okay, but once he caused disorder at the place, that is wrong.
It's also another discussion.
So the police should deal with him. He disturbed public peace in the hospital. Who said he should come and be doing filming and doing streaming like that? No. He disrupted everything. Now we are talking about it. He disrupted the place. That is wrong. Who knows what else his action would have caused other patients there? Because people have various situations and various conditions.
And that was an emergency ward.
Yes, people have various conditions. And so it is extremely wrong for the guy to have done that. But there are key underlying and deep underlying things that we must deal with. The attitude of the nurses and the health professionals must be looked at. And so this whole thing about GMA issuing a statement and singling out the minister and condemning him on personal grounds, I think was unfortunate. And whoever said so he's just a farmer, that, in my view, is also wrong, and it should never, ever have happened. Who says if you're a farmer, you are useless? Who says that? That if you're a farmer, you can't manage things? Farmers have managed big things. The former Cadbury boss, James Boateng, Farmer of the Year. But he managed multinational companies. So whoever made that comment should apologize. It shows the arrogance of some of the people in the sector. Who says if you're a farmer, you can't be a health minister? What's the name? Courage Kwashiga, who was former health minister. Was he not a Greek minister? Was he not championing a Greek, etc.? Was he not one of the best health ministers we've had in recent times? Whoever said that should be ashamed of himself. And it exposes a certain mentality about people, mentality people have of in the health sector have about other people. It is wrong, and it debases the argument, in my view. It debases the argument.
So, I mean, I'll let you make your points. I have to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on the health minister's issue. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wake up in the morning feeling super fine. Don't got no time, yeah. Turn it up, I'ma strut my stuff. You see me walking on the block, can't get enough. Like, nobody can touch me. They wanna be like me, but I got no time to get up, get up, get up. Now let's go. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. We gotta.
Play me for.
It's go time. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. Call me. We gotta move on up. We gotta move on up. Now let's go.
Beautiful. Wow.
Decent cross, wasn't going for it. Up towards goal. That's a superb finish.
When it's go time to supercharge your hustle, make it go time for GoTV.
Now let's go.
Love it. In Ghana, West Africa, the mornings are somewhat, if not for the perfect companion. What a good day to start. Work is always effective with Nasco Home Appliances. Classic home appliance for the fisher folks. And Nijepa, I want Nasco Fie. Nasco, bring home happiness.
You've seen nothing yet. This Big Brother Naija Season 10. It's 10 times the drama, 10 times the rivalry, and 10 times the game. This is certified. No zero, no minus. Big Brother Naija Season 10. Showing 24/7 on DSTV and on GoTV. Gold sponsor, Guinness.
Welcome back to What the Papers Say. I'm Vivian Kai Loko here with Samaria Afi as well as Selam Adono. We are looking at the Rich Hospital incident. Sami, let me take your thoughts on it and then we move to other.
Well, I as the committee has been set
do we need a committee? Selam says we do so that we can set things right in the future.
For me, we don't need a committee, but the minister has inaugurated one. So let's see what they will come out. But for me, we don't need a committee. We should look for the CCTV tapes and give it to the police. Let the police run their own investigations, and then anybody involved in this should be arrested. The same gentleman we are talking about, Vivian. You remember there was this demonstration about Galamsey on the 37th stretch about some months ago at the latter part.
Democracy
Hub. It was the same gentleman who blocked the main 37 road and even refused ambulance from entering the 37 hospital. It's the same gentleman we are talking about. The same gentleman who spearheaded whatever happened at the Rich Hospital. It's the same, he and Oliver, that group. It was the same gentleman who blocked the main 37 road and had confrontations with drivers and even patients who were going to the 37 military hospital. It's the same gentleman. He has a track record of doing this. And so I don't see why he's still not arrested. They say they can't find him. But as Selam said, he's granting interviews all over the place. Maybe he's in space granting the interview, we do not know. But if the Ghana Police Service wants to make an arrest, wherever you are, Vivian, they will find you. And in fact, just arrest him, interrogate him, do your investigation. If he's not guilty, fine, allow him to go. But if he is, let the law take its course. Yes, we know the attitude of our nurses, but the remedy is not to assault them. The remedy is not to run into a hospital and start making noise all over the place. And so that you put fear and panic in the people receiving care. When you see a mob enter a hospital shouting and hurling, you obviously, there's some kind of fear within the patients who are also receiving care. And the nurses are overwhelmed. We should also consider some of these things. In as much as their attitudes stink sometimes, they are also overwhelmed. They have a long shift. Sometimes morning till evening, the person who's supposed to come and swap you or change you is not in. You must stay in.
So must you push it onto the poor patients?
You don't do that. You don't do
I
that.
think both sides are not.
But we must also look at the pressure on them. The more reason why we need to recruit more nurses, more nurses and more health professionals to reduce the pressure on our nurses. If not, them all go jagba, as we are seeing.
All right, we'll move to Akwatia by-election coming up soon on the 2nd of September. The IGP has been speaking on plans towards ensuring that this time around, what we saw at Ablekuma North, we don't see at Akwatia. Let's take an insert from the IGP on preparations for security.
They are going to Akwatia well prepared so that they can handle all the threats, just to let the whole country know that police, we are ready for the elections, and all the threats we've been hearing from TikToks and all social media has also given us the room to prepare adequately towards the elections, and also to remove fear from people and the electorate in Akwatia that nobody can come to this constituency to come and cause any trouble. And we want to assure Ghanaians that the police is ready to handle any type of thing that may come in Akwatia. And then our eyes are red for Akwatia, and nobody should think of coming to cause trouble. No political party should mobilize men to come and foment trouble. And nobody should have in mind the intention of snatching a ballot box. We have prepared our men adequately to handle this situation.
So that's IGP Christian Tete, you all know, on preparations so far. Salam, let me start with you. Now, it's even scary to go into an election based on some of the experiences and the sights and sounds we see, you know, during these by-elections. That's the IGP statements and what they've started doing in preparation towards Akwatia assure you, you know, even as a journalist.
Unfortunately, the history of by-elections or elections on the side, which includes reruns, etc., in terms of violence, that history hasn't been very nice. We know about Chereponi, even Talensi. We know about the same Akwatia, yeah. Baba Jamal, when the election Baba Jamal won. We even know about Etiwa, Etiwa, Echiroma, Dekakrebi. You know, Ayawaso West Wagon, which became the mother of all of these. I don't know whether Ayawaso West Wagon is being overtaken by Abdulkumanov. I don't know whether it's been overtaken by Abdulkumanov. But anytime we see these side elections or by-elections, we see a lot of violence. Yeah. And the police must be up and doing. What we saw in Abdulkumanov was wrong, it was despicable. And oftentimes, it is just at one or two police stations that will mar the whole election. I hope the police will sit up, and if the police again want to do their work, they do it well. So we saw it in Asin North. The police turned up, and Asin North by-election was one of the best. I hope that they turn up again this time around and ensure that ordinary people who want to exercise their civic duty of voting are free to do so, vote for their candidate of choice, the right person wins, which will reflect the wishes of the people, and that person goes to parliament to represent his or her people. I think that is what we should be aiming for. That is what the police should ensure happens. And I will take his word for it, the IGP's word for it, that they are ready and they will not tolerate anything untoward on the day. I can only hope that they deal with them. I don't know how far we've gone with the issue about Abdulkumanov. What has happened to the guys we saw in the video?
Oh, we are told 8 people have been arrested.
But when were they arrested? Why didn't the police give us updates as they've been doing anytime they get some results? So you don't just come and tell us all of a sudden that you've arrested 8 when you have a history of providing updates. When you arrested 1 or 2, you told us, and you went quiet, and you're now telling us that you arrested 8. What has happened to them? When did you arrest them? And what has happened to them since? Have you arraigned them? Are they on bail? What is the situation? We need to understand that. So it's not just enough.
Who are they? Because the first two, they gave us names.
People know the people.
Yeah.
So let's know their names. Let's know what has happened so far. What's the stage of the investigation or whatever, if you've arrested them, are they on bail? What are the conditions? When are you taking them to court? Or have you started taking them to court? We need to know. I mean, we have to be accountable. We need to know. And the police are so important in this our democracy that they do not have to disappoint us. So yes, the new IGP are given the benefit of the doubt. I expect to see a good showing of the police at Akwatia. And Akwatia has a history.
Yeah.
Akwatia has a history. Let's ensure that that history doesn't repeat itself.
The same way, we are hoping that it will be a peaceful election, we will not record any violent incidents, Vivian. But the two political parties are also preparing themselves. I heard the national organizer of the MPP say that they are going to that election with their own internal security.
Yeah. They say they don't trust the police.
They don't trust the police, and so they are going with their own protection. What sort of protection, we do not know. They also say that if the police refuses to protect them, they will protect themselves. And these comments are what brings fear and panic, because I'm sure the party on the other side will also go in there with their own protection, knowing very well what happened in Ablekuma North. The two of them will come prepared, and I expect the police to act. We saw the IGP and the police going through some drills, or just hoping that on the day of the election they may come up top. We just hope and pray that Akwatia will pull out a very successful election.
What should the IGP be doing to assure the likes of the MPP that this time around, I mean, they will do a better job? How far should they go?
Engagement, and constant engagement and assurance. Constant engagement and constant assurance that the service will do a good job. That's the only thing you can do, because the election is yet to take place. You can't really do anything unless the election day proper. So the best option is engage them, give them all the assurance. Just tell them that you're on top of your game. You deliver on the day of the election. It's only engagement. There's nothing more you can do.
You know, with Ablekuma North, we saw some of our colleagues being, attacked and all that. Now, moving into this one, Salom, what do you think should be done differently for us?
The police must be up and doing. Sorry.
Let me let you get some water so Sammy can see.
The police must be up and doing, as Salom said. Even in Ablekuma North, we saw a police officer assaulting us.
One of us.
And just 19 police stations. How much more when we are doing 119 police stations? Yeah. And so the assurance is there, but there's a bit of fear and panic when you speak to colleagues in the newsroom. There's a fear that it runs through all the media houses. Everyone who will be sent to the field on that day will be extra careful. I mean, extra careful.
Yeah, I think the police might be up and doing. Journalists must also go and do their work. The fact that you're a journalist means that you've decided to put yourself in a line of fire, but do so responsibly. If you see something you are not convinced about, call the police, report and be careful, do the right things, and do your work. You have a duty imposed on you by the Constitution to bring things to light. So just do that, and then report things truthfully without taking sides. Don't go and ask provocative questions. Just do your work and do it well.
All right, gentlemen, we have to end it here. Thank you so much, Salam Adonu, as well as Sami Afe. And thank you to you out there for joining us for another edition of What the Papers Are Saying. I am Vivian Kailoko. We'll see you again next time. Keep watching Channel 1 TV.
DSTV means choosing.
Amazing acting.
Face friending while streaming.
Front row at the gaming and super fanning while on the going. Winning! Binging and blockbustering. While others are white ricing, you're jolloffing.
This looks so good.
With something for everyone, anything is possible when you're DSTVing. Start today with all sorts of packages to match your